Superchargers, headlights, and more. With over 122 million parts, eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Stay on your A game with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. See ebaymotors.com.
Ready to pop the question and take advantage of 30% off? The jewelers at BlueNile.com have got sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds. And they're ready to ship to your door. Go to BlueNile.com to get 30% off select lab-grown diamonds. That's BlueNile.com for 30% off lab-grown diamonds. BlueNile.com.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. Join the 6-time World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, and WWE NXT announcer, Booker T. Booker T. Alongside his right-hand man, the BOAT, Brad Gilmore, as they discuss everything from inside the ring to the backstage and beyond. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, man. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, man, we get ready to do this thing because coming off of a huge weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. Big fight went down there in the main event. Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. What a spectacle, man, inside the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino. Again, to thank those guys for the accommodations. Brad, how you feel, man, today? How you feel, dog? Brad had to leave a little early, guys.
I did.
He had a concert that he had to appear. As well as we got to talk about the concert, man. We got to talk because I heard it was sold out to the rafters, man. So
what I tell you, Road Warrior 87, maybe 88,
86, 87 popped. You know I didn't believe that. What the hell is he talking about? Look, they got about 200 people in here, and he talking about a Road Warrior pop. What is he talking about?
Couple things. First off, yes, I had to leave early. You know what you say about the boys? If there's a check you got to go pick up, the check. I had to go pick up the check.
Hey, look here, man. No doubt.
But I wanted to ask you this: did you, while you were out in Las Vegas this time, did you scout for property and look for a residency? Because I feel like in the last week you've been there on 2 separate trips. We had a third one planned this month. Who knows when we're going to be back there? We seem to be already there I think it's been 4 times this year. 4 or 5, maybe 5 for you. So have you looked out at any property out there? You know, they tore down the Tropicana. Maybe you can get in on the ground floor over there, get a nice spot. You know what I mean?
No, man. It's 110 degrees in Vegas, man. I'm not looking to stay there no time. More than 2-3 days is my limit. I'm serious right now because it's getting hot. We're not even in August. We're not even in August yet. Can you imagine what it's going to be like there in August? That'd be crazy, man. I don't know how people live there. I don't know how people live there at all. But it's good to visit because let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fight, man. Tank Davis, Frank Martin in the main event. Of course, David Benavidez versus Alexander Orsday in the co-main event. What was really, really cool is David Benavidez actually called me after the fight. And I congratulated him.
Okay,
man.
yeah. How does this happen? So you told me this morning when we were talking on the phone. You said, yeah, you know what? David Benavidez called me on Saturday. I'm like, wait a minute. He was in the co-main event. How did he call you that night? What happened?
After the fight, man, no. I ran into, one of his people that worked with him earlier that night, actually the night before in the bar, just hanging out. And he was telling me, that David was a huge fan growing up, and if it would be cool for me to just give him a shout out after the fight. And I was like, man, I'd love to give him a shout out. He's like, can we do it on FaceTime? And I was like, no, I got an Android. He's like, well, can we just give a phone call? It's like, yeah, I tell you what, take my number down. And after the fight, I said, just give me a call. I swear to God, I was not expecting the Mexican Mons to actually hear from him, but hooked us up. I actually, got a chance to congratulate him and tell him, man, how great of a job he did. Moving up in weight, of course, is definitely going to be a tougher task than it's been in the past. But he went out there, put on a clinic for 12 rounds. I mean, I don't think he lost a round in that fight. The guy that he was fighting, man, this dude, man, he took shot after shot after shot. He took some of the hardest body shots. Not the headshot, the body shots that Orjde took. And this dude did not flinch. For 12 rounds, he didn't flinch. And I was like, man, what is this dude made out of? I swear it was like he didn't feel nothing. He was from Ukraine. He came straight from the front line to this fight. And I'm going to tell you, man, he fought like it. He didn't win, but just like the Ukrainians right now fighting them Russians, man. That's the way this dude was fighting, man. He was not quitting. He would not quit. It was an amazing feat just to watch him take as many shots as he took over a period of 12 rounds, and did not waver one time. But congratulations to David Benavidez, the Mexican monster.
What do you think this sets up? I mean, do we see the fight now that people have been wanting to see? Are we going to see Canelo Benavidez? Is that what's up next? What do you think?
Either that or Dimitri Bivol.
You're talking about for Benavidez?
Yes.
You think that's the next fight he should take, or do you think that's the next fight they will make?
That may not be the fight that he should take. I mean, nobody should take that fight if they don't have to. But it's the fight game, man. They're warriors. Even David Benavidez say, fighters should fight. All right, fighters should fight. If Bivol is out there to fight, and you are truly the Mexican monster, I say mix it up, man. Roll the dice. If you want to slice, like Nipsey Hussle would say, man. Now, so for me, it may not be the fight that he wants, but I'm sure the boxing world, boxing nation, is definitely, fiending for a fight like that. I know I would be.
And
all over it. Seriously.
And how do you like David Benavidez's chances with somebody like Bivol or Canelo for that matter?
I don't like a whole lot of people's chances against Bivol. I mean, you look at what Canelo had to deal with over a period of 12 rounds, and it was a rough night for Canelo, the second loss on his record. And now, with David Benavidez stepping up against this man, the Orjde was 30, 37, 38, something like that. Mm-hmm. But he was an older fighter, and David couldn't get him out of there. Tough guy, truly a tough guy. But everyone in the arena, in the MGM Grand Garden Arena, thought that it was going to be a short night. Even I thought it was going to be a short night. And when we got to the 12th round, and both fighters were still standing up. Both fighters, even David, he didn't get rocked, the whole fight either. Even though I say the Ukrainian fighter, Orjde, he didn't get rocked or anything like that. Benavidez, he didn't get rocked or anything in this fight. He dealt out a boatload. When I say a boatload, I mean a boatload, man, of punishment over a period of 12 rounds. Like I said, any other man probably would have failed. But you're not going to have a guy like Bivol just standing in front of you taking punches. That's not going to happen like what happened in this fight on Saturday night. You're not going to have Canelo just standing in front of you taking punches either. So it's going to be very, very intriguing. Coming off of this fight, David stepping up in weight, it's going to be very, very intriguing what happens in his next fight.
Well, you know what? We'll have to find out. But before we end this segment, because we got a couple minutes left, why don't we talk about the main event? Tank Davis, Frank Martin, main event. Now, again, you and I were texting a little bit because I was here in Houston. You were in Vegas. I'm not calling myself Bookstradamus because you're the one who picks the fights. I did say Tank in 8 before the main event went on. I did say that. I have verifiable evidence of it. I think you were thinking the same thing when we were talking just in Vegas. You said maybe 8, 9, somewhere in that range. I mean, it's what ended up happening. What did Tank do so right in this fight to put down an undefeated Frank the Ghost Martin?
You know, I think it was everything that Tank said in the presser leading up to the fight. And before that, even before that, as far as Frank Martin just was not on the level of Tank Davis from a fight perspective, from an IQ perspective, in any way, shape, form. Frank Martin was just not on the level of Tank Davis. And for Tank to pretty much go out there and exploit all of Frank Martin's weaknesses from the beginning of that bout, it was eye-catching, you know, for me as a boxing enthusiast, somebody who watched, you know, guys, you know, go out and perform and how they perform. Tank Davis is normally a guy that goes out and prod and probe and figure out, how am I going to approach this situation? But in this fight, it was just like, man, I'm going to just walk this boy down and show him that he's not in my league. And for, you know, Tank to actually put himself in harm's way, it showed me that he had no fear, you know, as far as what was coming back. He had no fear. From round 1, he walked down Frank Martin a la, you know, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor. It was almost similar, even in the rounds. You know, as far as the stoppage, it was almost similar. He just walked him down and walked him down. Frank Martin just kept throwing shots, tired himself out, took some big shots, and then found himself laboring, hanging out on the ropes just a little bit too long. And then that boy Tank Davis dropped a hammer. Oh, yes, man. Bing, bing. A little side piece. Let's go home. Hey, guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Sucker! And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code BOOKER at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com and use promo code and receive your first month absolutely free, man. Visit BlueChew.com. Use promo code BOOKER to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce that Smooth Sack Summer is officially upon us. When you're playing out in the summer sun, make sure you're groomed from your pubes to your bum. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, you can make this season your smoothest one yet. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys downstairs cool while looking hot. Join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and use code BOOKER. Summertime and the trimming is easy.
Let me tell you, Brad, I remember this one time I tried to trim down there without the right tools, and it didn't go well. It was a disaster. But ever since I started using Manscaped, things have been smooth. Literally, man.
I hear you, Book. The Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra has everything you need to prepare that summer bod. Every man knows how scary it can get when going for a close shave below the belt. That's why I trust Manscaped for all of my sensitive areas.
Inside this package, you'll find the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen safe blade heads. One takes a little off the top, and the new fall blade goes smooth wherever your heart desires.
And don't forget the dual LED spotlights to provide contrast on multiple skin tones, 3 length setting combs, and did we mention this trimmer? It's a waterproof tool. Beach, lake, shower, this razor will devour even the strongest puke.
Oh yeah, man, and now that you have the perfect haircut, use Manscaped liquid formulations to keep that freshness even at the hottest summer barbecues, man. The Crop Soother Aftershave Lotion, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafe Ball Deodorant. Once they touch your sack, you'll never go back.
Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts for their Performance Package 5.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. And if you need more wet products, check out Manscaped's new Buff Bundle, which includes their signature silicone scrubber and body wash. Say goodbye to that nasty loofah and grab a taste of freshness.
Man, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. It's smooth sack summer, boys. Get on board or get left behind.
Trust us, your summer will never be the same thanks to Manscaped. You'll be feeling confident and ready for anything. Go to manscaped.com. Use code BOOKER for your exclusive offer. Stay smooth, stay fresh, and enjoy your summer.
Can you dig it? Houston, get ready to rumble with the Hall of Fame on ESPN Radio.
That's right, Booker. We're bringing the heat Tuesday through Friday right here on the Houston airwaves on 97.5 and 92.5.
We've got the exclusive scoop on wrestling, boxing, and everything in between.
Join us for the smackdown of sports talk and don't miss a moment of the action.
The Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that? Sucker! Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Talking about the big fight just went down in Las Vegas this weekend at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And I tell you, man, to be out in Vegas this weekend for a special occasion, 100 fights at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, going back to, back in the day, Mike Tyson and all them boys kicking it off all the way up to today. To actually be able to be a part of the festivities. It was awesome. It was really awesome. I definitely was like living my childhood dreams, being a part of something like that. I always talk about the Frank Sinatra situation with, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali, the Thriller in Manila. I was just thinking about the line that Muhammad Ali had dropped. I'm gonna be a chill of a thriller when I get to Gorilla in Manila. It was almost.
That's why he's the best, man.
Oh man, I'm serious, man. But for you and I to be a part of something like that, I'm telling you, bro, that was like a dream come true for me.
It was really cool to be. There was like a little mixer and event where you saw, all the luminaries. I think James Toney was there. Who else? Showtime Sean Porter was there. Caleb Plant, who we ran into. Of course, Bob Arum was there at 92 years of age, sitting right there.
Ab Judah was there as well.
And they had an unveiling of a banner for the 100th fight celebration, and then there was a beautiful WBC replica belt for the 100th fights at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And when you want to talk about, I mean, my first pro boxing fight, well, maybe not the first, or no, it was the first. The first pro boxing fight I ever saw was Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao at the MGM Grand Garden Arena back in 2019 or whenever that was. And just in the amount of times that you and I have been out there, a lot of them lately have been at the T-Mobile, but there's been a lot that have been in the MGM. And I remember also seeing probably a fight that I'll always remember, even more so than the Manny fight, was seeing Fury Wilder 2 at the MGM.
And the reason why it was like, man, let's get the hell out of here.
It was a little deflating.
Let's get out of Vegas, man.
I mean, that's one of the funniest things is we were both going for Deontay. He's an Alabama boy. We were rooting for him. And Tyson, did what he did. Tyson Fury went out and, handled him pretty easily. And I remember probably 70% of the entire population of Europe was in the MGM Grand. And they were really big on their boy, and I get why. He had an incredible showing. And I remember trying to get out of the MGM hotel, the arena, and then the hotel. It was a European faction. It was almost like the United Nations, like the European Union was out there throwing francs and pounds and euros were being spent. I think, they were eating all kinds of bad food, that they brought over with them. And we were trying to get out of there. And it was one of those things that Booker and I kept looking at each other like, man, I feel like we almost had to get into a fight just to get out of there. You know what I mean? It was like, it was crazy. But yeah, I always remember that one.
There was so many people there, man, from overseas. I remember we were hanging outside, and one of the European guys asked me who I was going for. And I said, Fury. I'm with Fury, dog. I'm like, man, there's too many of them. I don't need no smoke.
Too many people. We don't want to deal with it. Because too, you tell somebody, who's really passionate about their countrymen, hey, I'm going with Deontay. There might have been a scrap at the valet line at the MGM Grand.
You never know. So I'm like, man, I'm not looking for no trouble. Let's diffuse this situation. That's what we gonna do.
Yeah, I'm for Tyson.
No, man, we've had some great times going to Vegas for the boxing matches. And I tell you, not in a million years, that I would think I would be a part of something like that. Now, God bless Tracy, man. God bless Tracy. God bless her soul.
Yeah.
The person who actually brought Brad and I out for the first time. She's no longer with us. But I tell you, I can't thank her enough for making, these trips happen for you and I.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Tracy. And you know what? Another person who we actually did travel to those first fights with, Fred Fowler, who's also no longer with us. And he was at the first several fights that we went to, him and AJ Hoffman. So rest in peace to the two of them. They're the ones who made all this, like you said, partly, Tracy made it happen, and as well as did Fred. It was an incredible night, obviously, in boxing. Let me ask you this before we move on from it. Tank, who's up next for Tank? I mean, I know everyone wants to see him and maybe Teofimo Lopez. That's a fight that a lot of people might be excited about. What do you think? Is that the next logical one?
At the end of the fight, you saw Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia was,
jump up and throw his name back in the hat.
Well, it said Tank's number one fan, I think is what it said on his shirt.
Yeah, that was on the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The back had a little something else on it. Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson. Would definitely be a fight, but I really feel like Tank's experience in the game perhaps would be a little bit too much for Shakur, but everybody, even Shakur Stevenson, has a lot of belief that he can go out there and perhaps get it done. That kid is special, Shakur. He is special, but a lot of people were saying the same thing about Devin Haney until, his last fight, that he was, a special fighter, and then we saw that he wasn't so special. And then I think we saw Devin Haney wasn't so special before that against Vasily Lomachenko. I thought Vasily actually beat Devin Haney. But that's to be debated. But I don't know what's next for Tank. But whoever it is, they better be ready because Tank Davis is like Leonard Ellaby said. Frank Martin is a great fighter, but Tank is special.
That's true.
That's what he said. That's the way he said it.
That's true, though.
Hey, I really feel that way too.
Yeah.
Tank is truly a special fighter because he doesn't just go out there and fight with his hands. He's really, really smart. He knows when to, apply pressure. He knows when to throw big shots. He feints very, very well. He puts you out of position to land big shots. He's got the full package. And like I said, he took some shots on Saturday night, but not one shot phased him. So there again, Tank can obviously take a punch. We don't talk about how well Tank take a shot. Tank has taken shots in just about all of his fights, especially with Isaac Cruz. He took some shots. And I don't know. We've never seen Tank waver. The guys, he's got the full package. And like Leonard said, Gervonta Tank Davis is a special fighter that doesn't come along too often.
Now, the other rumor, though, that's being thrown out there, I mean, I know Tank has said something about it, and obviously it's a fight that some people might want to see, is a guy you mentioned just a second ago, Lomachenko and Tank Davis. How would you like that matchup?
If this fight was happening 8 years ago for Lomachenko, it would be great.
Because Lomachenko now is late 30s, right? Like 36, 37.
You know what? He's not the Matrix anymore. I mean, at one point, you really could look at Vasily Lomachenko like the Matrix. Mm-hmm. But I think that loss against Teofimo Lopez did something to him as far as, I don't know if it did anything to him, but I think it showed that he had lost a step. It showed that he wasn't the same fighter that he was, before going into that fight against Teofimo. The fight against Devin Haney, even though I feel like Vasily Lomachenko won that fight, I feel like the Vasily Lomachenko 5-6 years ago would have went out there and wiped out Devin Haney without no problem. That's what I'm talking about. So I just feel like Tank will be catching Vasily Lomachenko at the perfect time. He's cooked. He's ready. Let's just take him out and serve him up. That's the way it would be. But guess what?
What?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
I do agree with you in the sense of Tank is reminiscent. Well, I think that Tank is operating on a different level than most everybody else in his divisions that he competes with. And just from being able to see these last two fights that he's had, defeating Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin, which he was supposed to beat both of them. I mean, Vegas odds had him winning both of those fights, and they had him as the favorite for a reason because he was the better fighter in both of those fights. But defeating two highly touted, undefeated fighters back to back,
as well. I mean,
and in different ways.
But you go back to Leo Santa Cruz and Mario Barrios too.
Yeah,
I mean those were high stakes fights. Like I say, Isaac Cruz, all of those was high stake fights that he's had. You can go back, like I say,
Rolly Romero,
5-6 fights.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this dude, man, he's operating on a different level, and he's not backing down. He's not ducking anybody. That's why Tank Davis, I feel like, is so special. Hey, we got to take a break, man. We talk all day. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back.
Hey, everyone. It's Brad Gilmore and Booker T here. We're pumped for the NBA Finals. The excitement is off the charts, and it would be incredible to be there in person for one of these epic games. Imagine the thrill of watching the NBA Finals live. It's a dream come true for any basketball fan, and that's where GameTime comes in. GameTime makes it super easy and fast to get your NBA Finals tickets. And the best part, prices on the GameTime app actually drop as it gets closer to tip-off, so you can score killer last-minute deals.
I've been browsing through the GameTime app, and let me tell you, man, the deals are amazing. You can save up to 60% on last-minute tickets for NBA Finals and other high-profile events. And guess what I saw? Some fantastic deals that makes it totally affordable. Plus, the app shows you the view from your seat before you buy it. That's a game changer, man.
Absolutely, Book. I love how easy it is to find and buy tickets on the GameTime app. The flash deals and the zone deals are fantastic. You can pick a section and let GameTime choose the seats for the biggest savings. And with their all-in pricing, there's no surprise fees at checkout. It's straightforward, it's transparent, just how we like it. And what pleasantly surprises me was their lowest price guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. Plus, their customer service is top-notch with features like event cancellation protection and job loss assurance.
Guys, take the guesswork out of buying NBA Finals tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And create an account and redeem the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So don't miss out on the action. Get your tickets with GameTime and be a part of the NBA Finals excitement. Oh, yes!
Hey everybody, Brad Gilmore here with the one and only Booker T, and today we're not just talking about wrestling, we're talking about something that's changed the game for both of us personally, and that's Mando whole body deodorant.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. You know, the most valuable thing in the world could be that number one draft pick or home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But you know what? Second time.
Absolutely, Book. And let me tell you, managing body odor, that used to eat up a lot of time. Always worrying about it, especially around midday, but not anymore since we started using Mando.
Yeah, but tell them why, Brad.
Well, Mando isn't like those other deodorants that just mask the odor with heavy fragrances. Mando stops odor at the source. It blocks bacteria on your skin from breaking down sweat, which, by the way, is what really causes that BO.
And it's clinically proven to control that odor for up to 72 hours. Now that's long-lasting, man.
It really frees up so much time since switching to Mando. I've even perfected my half-court shot, believe it or not.
Man, that's awesome. And let me add, I've been using Mando everywhere. Pits, grundles, and even those stinky crevices. We all got his aluminum-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Designed by a doctor who knew what was up about body odor, man.
And for our listeners, we got something special. New customers can get $5 off the Mando starter pack. That's over 40% off. Just use our code BOOKER at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com.
Use shopmando.com. Check out their starter pack. Brad and I would not steer you wrong.
With Mando, you're really taking care of your body odor anywhere and everywhere. Give it a try and let us know what you think.
All right, now back to wrestling. But remember, control your body odor anywhere, anytime with Mando, and save big with the promo code Booker at shopmando.com. Hey, what's up, Nashville? It's your man, Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Wake up, man, and get in the ring with the Hall of Fame.
Every Saturday morning, Book at 8 a.m. We're coming to you live on 102.5 The Game, Nashville's home for sports talk. We've got the knockout conversations, the legends, and all the sports insight that you crave.
So check out Booker T and Brad Gilmore every Saturday morning on 102.5 The Game. Now, can you dig it? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Just talking a little boxing. What's next for Tank Davis? What's next? I'm wondering, whatever it is, they better be ready. I was listening to Tank talk a little bit, and he was talking about how he's really not feeling, having to always have to get up to think about what somebody's going to do to him and what he got to go out there and do to somebody. It just it seems like almost like George Foreman. George Foreman used to hate really beating his opponent to the point to where something could really happen to that man inside square circle. Seems like Tank has become so much more humble than that kid, that started a few years back before all of the success. He was talking about how, getting in trouble has changed him and let him see that, man, that just truly isn't the way to go. He seemed like such a humble young man. He really truly seemed genuine at the same time. So I just want to, like I say, congratulate Tank Davis on all of his success. And hopefully we can get Tank Davis here inside the hall and we can chop it up and talk about what's next for Tank Davis.
Well, we will find out here shortly. I'm sure that he's one of the biggest stars in the sport of professional boxing. So the next fight is going to have all eyes and ears ready to hear and see it. So we'll see what happens with Tank Davis. But, Book, there's a couple other things happening in the world, and I don't know where you want to go first. I don't know if you want to talk about Clash at the Castle or you want to talk about, somebody else who had something to say regarding the who killed WCW. A man who's a big subject of the documentary, Eric Bischoff, published a video on his YouTube channel discussing you actually. And I don't know, do you want to go there?
I'll take what's behind door number 2.
Okay. So again, while we were in Vegas, I saw a video that was going to be published called Booker T is Wrong, I believe is what the title of it was. And it was Eric Bischoff discussing something that you had said. And you and I talked about it before the video was published. I'm like, do you know what he might be talking about? And you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, yeah, I don't know either. And we
I don't watch those shows.
Well, but we want to support our fellow shows here on Podcast Heat. But what
I'm talking about
the Vice
killed WCW.
Yeah.
That's
so
what I'm talking about.
Again, I wasn't sure what he was talking about, and so I was waiting for the video to come out. I watched it, and then to be honest with you, in respect to Eric and Conrad, I still didn't know what he was talking about because they didn't tell me what the clip was. So I had to do some investigating, and I found the clip. How do you want to do this? You want me to play what you said first?
Yeah. However you want to set it up.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to play what Booker said in the documentary. And I guess this would be a good thing to preface with. You sat down for this documentary a few months back. How long was the interview, would you say?
2 hours, maybe 2.5.
2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah. Now, again, for context, they're doing 4 40-minute specials, okay? And they've interviewed half a dozen or more people, maybe a dozen people, who all probably also had 2 and 2.5 hour plus interviews. Maybe some people like Bischoff longer, since he was a main part of the story. So there's hours and hours and hours of footage and interview clips that they have to go through in order to compile these. So you could have said a whole lot of stuff in that 2.5 hours, I would imagine.
Yeah. But I was very conscious of everything that I was talking about.
So why don't we go to the clip in question? This is from episode 1 of Who Killed WCW. This is toward the end of the documentary where they're talking about Hulk Hogan and Sting at Starrcade. Now, I believe this is all clean. If it's not, we'll have to edit it in post, but I'm going to play it in its raw form. Since we're not live on the air, we're just on the internet right now. So here we go. This is Who Killed WCW, courtesy of Vice.
Hogan match. It was apparent to both Hulk and I that Sting didn't appear to be nearly as excited about the opportunity that we'd been working on for 18 months. There was something about him that day that was off. Sting left the room and Hulk and I kind of looked at each other and I said, "What are you thinking?" He goes, "Not today, brother. Not today. His head's not right." Hulk just wasn't feeling it.
So your clip is coming up here in just a second.
Or lack thereof of the clean finish, because Hulk Hogan has creative control.
He had creative control. He didn't give 2 shits. He'd walk in at 7:30, read the TV, and say, "Doesn't work for me, brother."
He has, free right to pretty much do whatever he wants. He has no interest in that company other than himself. That right there can really start turning things a certain way.
All right, and that's the clip that was in question. So let me ask you before we go on, was there anything there that you felt wasn't correct or put in the right perspective that you said?
Well, let's just say this. First of all, I did not have any questions posed to me about Sting and Bischoff and Hogan and in Starcade in my portion of the interview.
You don't
Okay?
recall being asked about that at all?
It's not that I don't recall. It didn't happen.
Oh, it didn't happen. Well, okay.
So we ain't in court.
Do you recall?
I don't recall it. Damn it. It didn't happen because I don't know what the hell happened in Starcade. I don't know what happened with those guys in the office and what the angle was with Sting and Hogan. And if Hogan didn't want to do the job for Sting and he had creative control, boom, he didn't have to do it. But I was asked about my situation at Bash at the Beach, and that was the answer that I gave.
So this was in reference to Bash at the Beach 2000. This answer.
Yeah, that was in reference to Bash at the Beach and my situation. And I understand, Bischoff saying, he was disappointed. Well, damn it, I'm disappointed as well. I'm very, very disappointed. After I've, actually heard, some of the dark side of the rings stuff with Eric speaking on this, very situation. And now after commenting on, what I said about my situation, I spoke about a lot of things that happened with me now. And that was me winning the WCW championship. And the thing is, I still think about it to this day as far as, the landscape of how my career could have been changed that one night because, creative control was pulled the night that I was winning the world championship. And my thing is, somebody having creative control can, mess things up or, really, really start changing the whole name of the game and the narrative of, someone's career and someone's future. Because say, for instance, Hulk Hogan wins the world title, okay? Hulk Hogan wins the world title. Let's just rewind. Hulk Hogan wins the world championship that night. What did that do for Hulk Hogan's career? What did that do? He was a multimillionaire at that point in time. He had did movies. He had did everything. He had been a world champ everywhere. What would that have done for Hulk Hogan's career? I mean, would it have saved WCW? Would the company have not gone under if Hulk Hogan would have won the World Heavyweight Championship? Now, on the other hand, it was a moment for me that Hulk Hogan came in and was almost took away from me because now I knew I was winning the world championship at least 2 or 3 days before I was that night. Okay,
they called you and told you.
Yeah. Now, if I somebody called me and told me. Now, if I knew that, Bischoff knew it, Hogan knew it, everybody knew it, and Bischoff. Why I'm so disappointed? Bischoff and Hulk Hogan was willing to take away my moment that night, and if I wouldn't have won that night, who knows if I ever would have won the World Heavyweight Championship? Who knows where my career would have went? I could have went by the wayside just like everybody else in WCW if I wouldn't have won the world, as well as I went on to have a hell of a run as the World Heavyweight Champion, besides all the antics and stuff that I had to do with the title. You know what I mean? Stupid angles, that's here nor there. But what would Hulk Hogan have gotten out of winning the World Heavyweight Championship on my night? Yeah, I'm disappointed in Eric Bischoff because he was an accomplice to the crime, as far as I'm concerned.
You're saying that Bischoff would have he was going to go along with Hogan wanting to win.
Whatever Hogan said, he was going to follow along. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I had a lot of respect for Eric Bischoff for so many years. But after finding out some of this stuff, man, it totally lowers the bar as far as I'm concerned about it. Yeah, I'm the one who should be disappointed.
Now
in somebody.
We're coming up on a break, so I'll play a.
We got 45 seconds.
Hold on now, calm down, calm down. All right, I feel you. I feel where you're coming from, and we'll play some of Eric's clip on the back. Now let me ask you this, because the context. Well, Eric's video was about what you said in context to the Starcade night.
Well,
now,
Eric said, my thing is, Eric bundled me in with a lot of other people and said, Booker's copping out just like everybody else in WCW that don't like this, don't bundle me in with everybody else. I know what I say, and I know when I say it. And the thing is, he should have known it was taken out of context. He should have known that.
We got to go to a break.
Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced packed with fresh produce at under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
Here's the best part. When you sign up today, you unlock free appetizers for life. That's right. Every HelloFresh box will come with an appetizer of your choice for free. You just go to HelloFresh.com/BookerApps to get started. That's free appetizers for life at HelloFresh.com/BookerApps.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/BookerApps and unlock those free appetizers for life. That's HelloFresh.com/BookerApps for free appetizers for life. Thanks for listening and happy cooking.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. How y'all feel? Hey, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. Getting your champagne wishes. Caviar dreams, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Well, I'm laughing because you cut this, it's not a promo, but you're very impassioned speech there. And then you want to ask us how we're feeling. How you feeling, man? That's what we're talking about.
No, man, because when I like I said there at the end, he should have known what Eric knew I don't mix my words. I'm not shy about talking about something. Like I said, damn it, if I was Hulk Hogan and I had creative control and I could have finagled someone into giving it to me, I would have taken it too. Yeah. If someone was that hard up to get me to where you could totally take the ship and just say, everybody on the ship now, y'all just scrubs and y'all got to do whatever, whenever, because this one person on this ship, damn it, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. And that's why I say I'm the one that's disappointed.
No, I feel what you're coming from, what you're saying. But I want to ask you this. So I think for the people to have a little bit of context, should we play a little bit of what Eric said so we can hear or do you not want to hear that?
Yeah, go right ahead and play a little bit of it because of what I took away from it was the veracity.
The veracity.
Yes.
That's a good word. I'm not sure I know what it means. All right, here we go. This is Eric talking about the clip that we showed you in the last segment. This is Eric Bischoff on his show, 83 Weeks, I believe, talking about it.
I like Booker T as a person. I respect him as a professional. There's not enough good things I can say about Booker in just about every way. However, Booker did the same thing everybody else does. Talent. They go back to the same old bag of tricks as far as their perspective. Let me make something really clear. Let me make it fucking unassailably clear.
I'll edit that.
There were 3 people in the room the night that we were trying to figure out what to do with the finish. There was Hogan, there was Sting, and it was me.
Okay, so again, I want to stop right there for a second. So he's talking about Starrcade, right?
Like I said, I don't know who was in the damn room at Starrcade. Okay, I have no clue who was in the room at Starrcade.
Right. Now they were talking about that. So I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because they put that clip in the segment when they were talking about Starrcade.
Eric Bischoff just said, he could have easily just said, man, Book wasn't even in the room at Starrcade. What are you talking about? Just like I said, like the plane ride from hell, and they had Vince on there, and I say, man, Vince wasn't even on the plane. What are they talking about? So it could have been something that simple. It could have been explained that simple, but to actually have, like I say, the veracity of me and my integrity and my opinion more than anything. Damn it, if I wanted to say that, I could say that too. If I really wanted to, I could say whatever the hell I want to say. It's my opinion, but it was taken out of context. And my thing is, like I said, he should have known it. Because like I say, he knew I wasn't in the room. He knew I had nothing to do with the office. He knew I've never been in a meeting at WCW doing anything. So for him to see me make a comment, and they're actually talking about this, and he equated to that because they put it together. He's been in TV for many, many years. He know how this thing works.
Right. And I think this is what they
say. I love Jason and Evan, and I think they do a great job. And I mean, every time they have a new product on Vice, I can't wait to see it. Whether it's Tales from the Territories or Dark Side of the Ring or Who Killed WCW, I love it all. However, I have heard from people who say, man, that's not the full context. And I'm sympathetic to that. And you and I have talked about this before.
Yep.
They probably shot 20 hours worth of footage for that 41 minutes that aired or whatever it was. So, decisions have to be made. Like if you really, because I saw some criticism and they said, boy, they really glossed over a lot of stuff. And it's like, guys, you got to tell the whole story in 3 hours, like start to finish. It's not like you can have this, we're going to do we're going to do 12 2-hour episodes. That's not what the order was. So we've got to make it fit. So when I saw that, I kind of thought, man, I wonder what he was really responding to there. And again, I'm not saying that Jason or Evan did any poor editing. I am just saying they're tasked with an unenviable job of how do we take this much content and make it fit here? Like that's tough.
Yeah, it is. And I hope, like I said, I hope that that's the case because I don't want to be disappointed.
So there you go.
We're getting.
So
Wait a minute.
Oh,
continue that last point.
Okay, let me get it back. I got to get it back up. Give me 1 second.
Okay, because it's one point there I wanted to make a comment about.
Okay, give me a second. I have to find it.
A little bit too early there. No, like I said, it was the veracity of
the top
of the
5
statement that was made towards me when like Conrad said it over a couple of hours of an interview, and they took it and placed it in the same context with Hulk Hogan, just because I think the context of what they were talking about with Hogan was the creative control, and I think that had a lot to do with what happened with me that night was the creative control. So I feel like, they lumped it in and but go ahead. It's the same opinion though.
Here we go.
We're getting this Roddy Piper, but the greater Trash ranked for you
Oh,
as
no.
far as the WC?
Hold on. You were looking for something over here.
That had a valid perspective of what was going on. Right spot.
You ain't got to worry
why?
about it. You ain't got to worry about it. I think what he had said was that would make him a little less disappointed. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. It'll make him a little less disappointed. What the hell that mean? I don't care if he's disappointed. I hate when people talk like that. I mean, I really don't care if he's disappointed with me or not. Because I'm a grown ass man, and everything I say, I stand by it. Everything I say, I stand by it. Everything I say, I'm willing to say it in somebody's face. And damn it, there's some more stuff that's going to come out on the Who Killed WCW. And he may not like that either, because I think he had a big part in it. And do we want to talk about that? And look at me a certain way because I wasn't in the room when the ship went down. Damn it, I know if I'm on the damn boat and it's going down, I know what to do. Look for a damn life jacket in one of them boats that everybody's jumping on. And so yeah, I'm not totally in the dark about what's going on, So I take offense to it, in a lot of ways, because there again, this is my opinion, and a lot of people got their opinions. Bottom line.
Yeah. Bottom line. So I'm sure this will get back to Mr. Bischoff, and we'll see what he has to say in response to that. But again, I think that the creative control thing is a valid piece to this WCW puzzle. I think it's a subject that has to be discussed, because just like what Eric said in the clip. Now, again, I don't know what was wrong with Sting, and if Sting wasn't in the right mental space or what have you. I don't know. I mean, look, I wasn't there.
Right,
Clearly.
mental space the right mental space might have been somebody coming to him and tell him, "Look, I got creative control."
Well, what I wanted to say about it is
the thing is, I wasn't even at Starrcade that year, or the year after that.
were you not?
No, I wasn't even there.
Oh.
I wasn't even part of the show.
Yeah. So you couldn't have been there.
I couldn't have been a part of it. I couldn't have been in the room. I wasn't even at the show. I wasn't even on the card.
Was it 97? What I wanted to say, though, is the fact is, whether you want to look at it as a positive or negative, I truly do believe that it's a element in what led to the demise of WCW, and that is, of course, the the issue with the creative control.
You know what? I do not think so at all.
You don't think that has an element to it? I absolutely
do not.
No, it absolutely has an element.
I don't think that was the demise of WCW. I think the ship was already sinking way before that.
No. Yes, the ship wasn't sinking before 97 when that happened. Now 2000, 99, going into 2000, yes.
But the thing is, though, Brad, what you got to understand is, most of us, we didn't know about the creative control thing.
I know, that's neither here nor there. The point is that
now, what I'm saying is, so if Hogan had creative control and we didn't know about it, it had nothing to do with the demise of WCW, because it was way too late. We found out about creative control after the fact, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but if you have creative control and it's preventing the fans from enjoying the show because we're seeing something that maybe had been built up for a long time, and then because you want to throw in a creative control card, it throws off the satisfaction of the show for the fans. That has an element to it. It absolutely does.
You know what? You can believe that. But we run out of time.
I feel like we should. Well, we have super chats, so we're gonna have to go another segment. We have to go a bonus segment.
Well, stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Hey, man, I want to thank, like I said, again, man, all you guys for hanging out. I thought Brad was, leaving y'all hanging out to dry there for a second. But stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes. Caviar dreams, man. Oh, yes.
Why was I leaving them out to dry?
Because it was the last segment. We was going home. What are you talking about?
Well, we had to throw them a bone. We had to keep going.
It's a bonus segment.
Bonus segment here. Now, again,
looking at me right now, and they wonder why I'm looking so jacked. I just got out the gym, man. cooking dinner for the kids right now. Mom downstairs getting, moved up in chapter or whatnot, so Dad had to take over the dinner duties. And, when I do that, I normally train in the middle of it. So right now I'm looking real jack, baby. I mean, I feel jack too, you know what I'm saying?
I've trust me, I think we've all heard that and seen it throughout this show today. You know what? We want to shout out all our sponsors, of course, for this lovely podcast, of course, including Blue Chew. And the great thing about Blue Chew is
do it.
The great thing about Blue Chew is, unlike Booker T's comments and Eric Bischoff, it never leaves your lady disappointed. You know what I mean? It never leaves your lady disappointed. Hey, look, I want to ask you a couple of things.
I'm just keeping it real, man. That's all. I just keep it real all the time. And the thing is, I started feeling this way a long time ago about Eric Bischoff, like I said, because I heard him make these comments on one of the Dark Side of the Rings. And the thing is, I don't even know if I would have ever did a Dark Side of the Ring episode if I wouldn't have saw that. And it was about, like I say, this situation and me knowing this many years later that my life could have been totally different because I know Hulk Hogan was the guy that was, the marquee name and whatnot. I understood all of that, but I really felt like it was my night, and I felt like, the right person won the championship that night. Whether Hogan felt that way or not, because I saw an interview after that where Hogan had said, he's still the real champion anyway. I remember seeing stuff like that. So it's not something that, I just dismiss or don't think about or don't talk about. I don't talk about that kind of stuff for a reason. But when I see it and I talk about it and I call it out, I'm just responding more than anything. Just because for many, many years, I felt so differently about Eric Bischoff for many, many years before I saw that he was willing to go along with the coup.
So for people who aren't familiar, maybe, and they didn't see that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, you're referring to Bischoff saying that he was okay with putting the title on Hogan and not allowing you to win that night?
Exactly.
And I know I'm paraphrasing.
Because I wouldn't have won it. I wouldn't have won it after that.
Yeah.
The title wouldn't have came my way after that.
Yeah. Company
was going down. It wouldn't. I don't think Hogan winning the championship would have resurrected the company's, downward spiral. It would have did something for Hogan, maybe, and the way he felt about, there again, because he still felt like he was the champion after, I won the world title anyway. So, yeah. There again, was it selfish? Yeah, I think it was, because there again, I really think I knew before that night I was winning the world championship, and they're the one in creative. I think someone like Eric would know it. I think Hulk would know it. Vince Russo knew it. Vince Russo said they had a meeting. Who am I to believe? I don't know. I wasn't in the meeting,
right?
But I do know what happened in the ring that night. I do know that I was slated to win the world title that night. I do know that Hulk Hogan pulled his creative control card that night, and me being the one winning the World Heavyweight Championship that night, and then Hogan pulled his creative control card. If I don't think that's a selfish move and somebody thinking for themselves at that moment in time, and I just say, okay, fine, I'm cool with that. Look, how stupid does that make me look?
Oh, very.
All the hard work I put in for that damn company all those years. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It's unbelievable.
Well, and a couple of things that I wanted to make sure I mentioned in this segment was, and I guess
that scratches the credulity.
Do you have a thesaurus in front of you right now? Now I didn't. Now I told you, and I've said this on this show a long time. I do not watch any Dark Side of the Ring episodes. I've never seen one of them. I have seen the Death of WCW, but I've not seen any of the Dark Side of the Rings because I don't kind of like what they represent. But
neither have I. I mean, I don't represent any of the Dark Side of the Ring. And like I say, only reason I did this one was because it had something to do with The Rock.
Yeah.
And Brian Gewirtz, who had something to do with it as well. So I trusted them to, put my words in context. It was taken out of context. That's the only reason I never did anything with Dark Side of the Ring. And just going on the record, I'll never do anything with Dark Side of the Ring ever again going forward.
Okay. But as far as the Bash at the Beach thing, let me ask you this, because I didn't see the clip that you're referring to of what Bischoff said. Do you think Bischoff's words could have been taken out of context in the Bash at the Beach episode, or is it pretty clear what he was saying?
I think he said the same thing this time.
He said the same thing this time. Okay. As far as Bash at the Beach?
No, as far as, Hogan had creative control. And if I felt like, just like everybody else in WCW and what's going on in the office, I felt like, I just felt like, situation still remains the same as far as ways things are. I mean, like I say, I don't think it was taken out of context. Maybe it was, but I never spoke about it until now. I didn't speak about it because it was on Dark Side of the Ring. You know what I mean? So I never thought about, so I say, but now I'm speaking on this because again, the veracity of a comment that was made on Dark Side of the Ring and that was taken out of context, but my true feelings.
Yeah. On your situation.
On my situation. My true feelings, 100%.
I guess like a journalistic follow-up would be this. Would you be open to having a conversation with Eric, either privately or publicly, about what he said and your feelings on the matter?
I would. Let's just say this: I wouldn't mind at all.
Okay,
but that thing, that's why I say I never really, like talk about old stuff. Only reason I did the Dark Side of the Ring thing this time because I heard comments made about Hogan and about him winning the title, and there again, they would have went that way opposed to going with me. But what was the question again?
I would just would you be open to having a public or private conversation?
Yeah, I'd be willing to have an open dialogue with Bischoff, but that dialogue can go like way down a rabbit hole because I do feel a lot of ways about what happened with WCW. I really do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm not going to just sit here. Let's just say this: Eric Bischoff did a lot for me in WCW. He did. He was a guy that is one of the reasons why I excelled and got so far in WCW. He paid me appropriately, maybe even better when I was in WCW. But that's not going to make me sit back and not tell things the way it is. I'm gonna always tell it the way it is. I appreciate what Vince Russo did for me because if it wasn't for Vince Russo being the guy in the room and willing to go out on a limb for me, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you and having this conversation. I appreciate Vince Russo for doing that, but I'm not going to come out here and say Vince Russo was the best writer in the world. He did everything great. Vince Russo had flaws just like everybody else. You know what I mean? He had some good ideas. He had some really bad, some really bad ideas.
Facts.
But that's just the nature of the beast. That's the way that's the name of the game. How many times have you heard me, really bash, Vince Russo about anything? I always say, man, he has some good ideas. He has some bad ideas. Say his best idea was putting the title on me. I appreciate that.
Facts.
But I'm not gonna, say anything other than the way it was or the way it is when it comes down to, talking about, old stuff.
Yeah.
Because here inside the Hall of Fame, we normally don't talk about old stuff.
We normally don't talk about old stuff. Now, this just happens to be topic of conversation because of the Who Killed WCW documentary. Let me say this before we get to the Super Chats. And again, I obviously will have a different perspective than you about WCW because I was watching from this side of the screen. You were on the other side and actually living it every single day. I think
yeah, but you're a journalist.
Well,
like I say, you can ask me whatever questions you want, man. I'm not going to shy away from it.
No, I'm not. It's not even a question. There's more of a comment of just I feel like creative control had a hand in what led to the demise of WCW. How big of a hand? Probably not a massive one, but it definitely had a hand. I think favored nation contracts had a hand in the death of WCW, which is where guys like, and look, if I was one of the boys, I'm not saying I'd be mad at it, but guys like Hall and Nash, who if someone came in and were making more money than them, their contracts got bumped up to at least that or more, right? that helped lead to the demise of WCW because there's only so much money that can be spent. And when you're spending millions and millions and millions on talent, and most of them are going unused a lot of times, or at least a good majority of them, that's going to help lead to a lack of funds that's going to help run the company further. You know, I mean, that's just from what I can tell. Now, who is responsible for killing WCW? I think it's an amalgamation of several different instances, actions, and people. And I do think from the outside perspective, and I'd be interested to see what the documentary ends up eventually saying, I think that Bischoff has a massive hand in creating WCW to the point of which it got, the zenith of where it got to, and also has to hold some responsibility for the fall of the same ship that he saw get to the nebula, to use your term. And I think that anybody from the outside looking in would say that. Now, the inner workings, I can't attest to that. I have no idea what AOL, Time Warner. I've heard Jane Fonda get blamed for killing WCW. I'm sure you've heard the same thing as well. So
I haven't heard that one.
The Ted Turner, Jane Fonda divorce, I hear, is partially to blame. So
You know,
anyway,
man, like I said, it was a multitude of things that had to do with the demise of WCW. And like I say, a lot of people got a lot to do with it. I know I didn't have anything to do with it.
no, you helped with the success
I
of
can
WCW.
attest to that. I had nothing to do with the demise of WCW. No. It's definitely a conversation that's I would love to have with Eric Bischoff. I would definitely not shy away from a conversation, especially when I'm talking about something that I'm very, very passionate about, which is there again, my life could be totally different right now, all because of that one night. And me personally, I always say, you know, I needed all of that chaos and mayhem going on in order for me to have really, for my championship, you know, win for the first time to really be highlighted. I needed all that controversy and chaos. I really did.
Yeah, it definitely made it more memorable than it already would have been just because of the extras. And I will say this, you know, without you winning the world title that night, now perhaps you would have won it several days later or a week later or a month or
Look here, bro.
But
Look
okay.
Look at Brad.
I was
Come
gonna
on.
say something.
Come on. Let's be
I was
real
gonna make
here.
a good point, but
Come on, let's be real here. Hogan wasn't working me. He wasn't dropping the strap to me.
Oh,
Hogan
no.
wasn't gonna put me over.
No.
Damn it. That title wouldn't have never came my way. And that's just the way I feel about it. Now they can talk about their creative and how they thought about how would Hogan want it, what was gonna go, they was trying to build me up. That's a bunch of crap. Is what it is.
Well, I don't disagree with that. But what I was going to say is, had you not won it the night that you did, you know, the run that you had and being the last WCW champion and U.S. champion, which made you an attractive talent for the WWF at the time, and bringing you in a main event spot, none of that conceivably would have ever happened, right? I mean,
no, it wouldn't have.
So
it wouldn't have happened. I would have came in, but I would have had to work my way from the bottom all the way up to the top. Hogan wasn't going back to the WWF or WWE. He wasn't going back at that time or anything. Like I say, it did more for me in my career than it ever would have done for Hogan's career, winning the world title that night. And if nobody, you know, understand that or see it from my perspective, you know, to hell with them. That's the way I feel about it.
Hey.
Because I know, damn it, how hard I worked in that company to get to that point.
Thanks.
And if you don't want to give it to me for political reasons, it's a bunch of, you know what?
Yeah. We have some super chats to get to before we get out of here. You want to go ahead and move to
Let's do it, because I got some dinner on.
Okay, this comes from Shayla. Shayla just showing a little tip right there. Callie Toenail says, what's up, Callie? I was one of the first question to Priest run as champ, but after True Grit he showed at Clash, I'm now excited to see where he's going to go to. One of the first to question Priest run. Yeah, he and Drew had a good little match there. There was a scary moment. I don't know if you saw it, Book, because I know you were on the road, where Priest got hung up there on the top and middle rope, and thankfully his foot got caught, or he would have come crashing down. He wasn't the only one who had issues that night with the ring. Also, Jade Cargill had an issue. with the springboard. I think AJ Styles did as well. People were saying the ropes were loose, which is something that I will say you always preach about at Reality Wrestling, was why you don't want people working around in the show ring, because you don't want the ropes getting loose. But what'd you think about Priest, and did you see that scary spot, and he's still the guy?
Yeah, man. Pull it off the way he did. Sucking it up. That's huge. I always talk about it. You know, they got to be able to trust you, man. You can't be missing those shows. For Priest to suck it up, showed a lot as far as his grit. Showed a lot as far as McIntyre too, going out there in his home country, you know, and not winning, but still going out. Always talk about your losses got to be better than your wins. He definitely adopted that principle. So big ups to both of those guys for going out there and working their asses off, and hopefully it's not too bad for Damian Priest.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking about the Clash at the Castle show, Marcus Craig said, "I can't believe Jade and Bianca lost the belts." Yeah, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the new champions.
Believe it. It's over. The romance is over. It's time to move on. You know, I like those two as the tag team, but I like them a whole lot better, separate. So it was good for a moment to see that thing, but I don't know. I didn't know how long that thing was going to last. I don't know if it's over yet, though.
I don't know if it's over yet either.
We'll find out.
It could or could not be. A couple more here. This comes from John. Chicken fingers or cheese pizza, book?
Chicken fingers, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Absolutely. Chicken fingers all the way.
It's not them cane chicken fingers. I can't eat those, man. They something in the batter.
Something in the batter. All right. And B says, I missed the Mayweather era, even though he beat up Big Show. How nice was Floyd? Were you there when Floyd was there?
No, I wasn't there when Floyd was there.
Have you ever met Floyd?
I don't think I've ever met Floyd, man. Okay. That's one guy I never met.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I did like the run. Did you watch the Big Show Floyd match?
Yeah. I mean, it was all right. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of watching matches, though. That's just not my thing.
Okay. Well, there you go. Those are all super chats.
Oh. All right.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Bro, I think I said it all.
I think you did.
I think the internet gonna pick up some of that and talk about some of it.
There's a high likelihood.
But again, man, I'm just being straight up. You know what? I wish we never had to talk about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I wish we never had to talk about any of this stuff as far as, what happened back in the day. I always was a big proponent of, what happened in the locker room, stay in the locker room. When I see these guys making comments, and everybody know me, say something about me, I'm gonna respond, because I'm still in shape. I'm still fast, quick, agile, mobile, versatile, and damn it, I can get very hostile. You don't want that? You don't want that?
Talk about it.
So, again, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Give you champagne, wishes, caviar, dreams, man. I got NXT tomorrow, man, so I got to get ready. Bradley for all the heavy lifting. As always, but right now, like I always say, guys, peace. We love you. Yeah.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
You were so obsessed with betting. I don't need to bet.
You're adamant that you're going to win, and I'm adamant that they're not going to win. You're a realist.
Why does money have to be exchanged?
You're a realist.
Like he believes it, you believe it.
Why is that? Well, that's no fun in that.
It's a conversation that you can have, and then Monday it's just like, I told you so. I mean, that's verbal currency.
There's nothing fun there.
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.